You have been named the voice. Waiting they happen.
Karibuni. Welcome to this
maneno mapenzi
week.
Maze, welcome to a new week.
This weekend just went like this.
This weekend was a couple of hours long.
Karibuni everyone to this Relationship Monday.
Maze, it's that day again.
That show with her herself
AfroFabb
and me myself, Night Atieno.
Eish.
Here at Galactic Productions.
Yes.
Karibuni sana.
Na DJ wetu hodar. Anafanya tunafilma things asubuhi. Na vile hii weather inakaa vile inakaa.
Tuzae watoto nawe.
Tuendelee.
Mimi napenda tu hiyo practicing. Sitakangi hiyo maneno ya kuzaa watoto.
Oh, napenda tu practical.
Napenda practicals tu.
Hapo kwa theory nothing.
Mimi napenda tu practicals. Ukifika hapo kwenye kuzaa,
Atieno, sijui kulea, sijui kubeba, sijui nini.
Sijui nianze kubeba, sijui Maze leo,
today
leo kuna baridi.
Maze.
Na si ya uongo.
This weather looks like it looks.
Ni ile baridi inafanya mtu akuje na agwata.
I tell you.
Kwa studio.
Leo umetushow kunyweni uji wapi? Kunyweni uji.
Thank you to AfroFabb. The whole studio imechangamkia uji leo asubuhi.
Anything for my people.
Uji ya Fabi. Nikuelekea ingecho kidogo tu tungekula nao samaki.
Where? I like eating my porridge. I don't like drinking my porridge.
Sasa hii agwata yangu mimi naenda kufanya hivi naona haiendi. Naona hata tumetumia kijiko. Yes, story.
No.
Naona your ancestors might be a bit disappointed with you today.
No, ancestors pia walishapita. Tulisha remix.
Pikanga uji mtu anaweza kunywa na agwata na anaweza kula na kijiko.
Ukoona ni I chomad bowls not cups.
Nashukuru kwa uji, and for me and those who know me, you know that I eat sugar. I eat drink.
Na kunywa uji, sukari na uji. Unaweka sukari yako, unaweka uji yako kwa sukari.
Ndio ikwe palatable.
Wewe ungekuwa mtoto wa ule mama mwenye alinizaa.
Kwa nini sukari yake ningekuwa nakunywa? I've been making my own money for days.
Trust me, it never goes away. Hiyo sukari yote.
Lakini si sukari yako naongeza. Si mimi niko na sukari yangu kule mvunguni pale chini ya kitanda. I've always had my own shit. Are
you trying to say that you're those chicks who beba Tabasco sauce in your bags? You're like,
I'm like, if I know I'm going to a restaurant, and they don't usually give me enough of something, I bring my own. Yes. Or I go to a restaurant where they actually give me enough Tabasco sauce to use as I please. Seti palunaenda, alafu tomato sauce ukitisha.
Inakuja kwa petri dish.
Ama inakuja na tule packet.
I know.
Okay.
You know
tomato sauce.
But still.
Lakini still.
Unalilia wale.
Nalilia wale. Ama ukiitisha chili sauce.
Unataka sauce. Unataka ya kudipu.
Exactly. You want to like your chips with your chili sauce. Yeah?
This
guy wants to go, okay. And that's it. I'm like, yes, where's the rest of it? You know what I mean?
Kama unaweka weka.
Anyway, tuendelee hapa kwa kuzaa watoto.
Tuingie pale kwa kuzaa watoto na kulea na our children.
Those ones. You know, like today, we put topics out there that we were going to talk about today, and one of them was like people who have children as a status symbol. You know, as a matter of it's time now. Let's have kids.
Let's have kids now.
Everyone's asking. And it would be nice to have kids, but not really thinking about the actual ins and outs. Najua kuna mangoma zinasemanga mtoto kuja na sahani yake. It's a lie. It's a lie, camera. It's a lie.
That is all I can say. I beg.
It's a lie, Kenyans. You know, the thing is, go on.
You need to ask yourself: are we ready to have another human being? Are we ready to feed another mouth? Are we ready to clothe another body? Are we ready to...
No, but it's not just the hard bits. The hardest bit, I think, is thinking how ready you are as a couple psychologically. I think that's the biggest one. You know, a lot of couples break up because of having children, either too soon or having children at all when they were not supposed to have children together. True. You know what I mean? So you find that watu wawili wamekuwa tu pamoja, they're happy nini sa kidogo, this little sa kidogo wamekuwa na mtoi.
hiyo ni kusensa, alikuwa anasensa maneno amejizima kabla.
You know, no, but it's true.
Yeah.
And then you have a kid.
Yeah.
And then Sakidogo, you're having issues. And it's not just the issues of money, because some of these couples, they have money. It's the fact that you were not ready to have somebody, however much you wanted that somebody to join your marriage or your relationship, you were not ready for the time this little person consumes.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And especially it happens for both sides. You know, I think sometimes when a woman has a kid, everyone ignores the dad.
Yeah, well, 100%, like 98% of the time, the dad is forgotten.
Yeah, and it's like, so you've had a kid, but you've had a kid together. Everyone is like, oh, mommy this, mommy that, mommy this.
Mommy, congratulations. Aki, you did good, because she made that child.
That's
by
it.
herself.
And the thing is, and in this day and age where the men actually are in the labor room, are allowed to go, and some people are still having kids at home and their men are there with them, people forget that the mom is going through it. You know what I mean? But the trauma is seen by the father. You know, that guy who's standing there thinking, wow, my woman might
is she
die.
is she going to make it out of this? Is she going to survive this?
It's scary.
Because Kwanza, he's more concerned about the mom than the child. Because he's like, this one I know.
I know.
The
this
other
one
one
is just coming. Exactly. And the thing is, we already bond as women. We bond with the children in the belly. Yes. Because they are in us, within us. But what we don't realize is, once you've had that kid, it's time to introduce that life to, or at least involve the man. In the pregnancy. You know what I mean? So
and that's one thing that a lot of ladies don't do. I don't know whether it comes in consciously or it's just like something that plays at the back of their mind. Because you're like, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, babe, we are pregnant. And then you're going through these changes. There's those of them that imemba ipendi huyu jamaa. Please remember, hata kama haimpendi sahi, mtoi ni wake pia. Unaona? If you don't share what you're feeling, if you don't let him know, zile za like, yo babe, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, walk this journey with him. So that at least at the finish line, he feels he's been involved the whole time. So see ati you like fine, amenda job, maisha can do is stop, maisha yako ita stop. But involve him, because the moment you don't, like you see in the labor ward, he's more concerned about you, about that other being. Hana idea.
Exactly.
So like unapata hata hana ile hamu kabisa zileza, because you're like, what, baby, okay? How's the baby? Babe, do you need water? Anafanya analala.
But wababa wengine pia wanafala. Wababa wengine sasa watanilenga juu nishakuzalia mtoto. And then now you don't know me. Now you know this little person that I don't even know. Maybe I'm even suffering from postnatal depression. You don't want to do it. You have a child now. Ooh, I have a son. Especially when you're my son. Without me, you wouldn't have a son.
Because ulimpengeneza tu kwa lab tu. You just molded the Play-Doh things alafu akaiva.
You know what I mean? I'm like, listen, and this is where we say, like, let's not have children as a status symbol. Let's really think about how the children affect our lives going forward. We can't just have children and leave them to other people to raise, namely auntie, or let children come in between us in our relationships, you know, and then we start saying, oh, we're only staying for the kids. Yeah, you're staying for the kids, but are you actually taking care of the kids?
Exactly.
Because what example are you showing them in terms of truth? This is how a couple should behave. You know what I mean? What example are you showing them? So I'm just like, do you know what? Before we have kids, and I know sometimes a kid just happens. No, actually, a kid never just happens. If you're having unprotected sex,
you have unprotected sex.
No, actually, if you're having sex at all, nothing. There's no contraception in this world apart from abstinence that is 100%.
That you're not going to get anything or anyone like you.
Unless mtu ameshatolewa oven aka Atieno.
Kama
una oven
hakuna kitu taiva huko.
Hakuna kinaweza iva. You know what I mean? So let's really think about like when we're having children and why we're having children.
Sit down and have that conversation. Don't just do it because Nani got a child, Nani is having a child, or our parents are asking for grandchildren.
And be ready. Guys, be ready. These little humans.
She has censored again.
Into your life, and it's like a whirlwind. It's like a tornado. You are not ready.
You're never ready.
You know, especially as a couple. It's easier for a single mother because you don't have someone there constantly akikwambia, and I'm not
there's no hate here.
It's not even hate. It's just about saying, like, I'm not advocating for single parent families. They happen, yes. But obviously, we all want a place where children have multiple, sort of examples growing up. You know what I mean? And role models, from both sexes. Because there are different things, and even if there's no dad in the picture, find a relative or a friend who is going to be a constant in that child's life, especially for the boys. Exactly. Especially for the boys. Like for me, my baby daddy wasn't around for a while, but my brother Lukaka, he stepped in. And he's been like a dad to my boy, and I really appreciate him, and even before that, even when I was with my ex-husband, my brothers have always been a constant in my boy's life, I'm not saying they're perfect, nobody's perfect. I'm not a perfect mom, but at least things that there are things that a man can teach a man or a boy becoming into a man, and there are things that dads who have daughters who've maybe lost their mothers or their mothers have left for whatever reason.
There's a mother, there's a sister, there's an auntie, there's a female, female
positive. Female role model.
Exactly, because and it doesn't always have to be family, by the way.
No,
it could be.
And family is more than blood.
Exactly. So you have a person, whether it's male or female, for your child. Somebody you look up to, somebody you really appreciate, and you see, you and your nini positivity.
Yes.
Exactly. Because sometimes even us as humans, as the parents, sometimes we have slip-ups.
Sometimes too pathetic. Let me tell you something. These humans, these people, they don't come with a manual. So we are constantly...
Now, manual is in some Turkish weird language you can't even read.
We are constantly effing up as parents. And obviously, as kids, we look at our parents and we think, there's no way, you guys should know better. But obviously they don't. They're just, everyone is a broken child.
It's true.
Trying to do their best.
It is true.
You know what I mean?
It is true.
So,
until we understand that, we're going to be able to understand other people.
Exactly.
And you will be less harsh. So, a lot of judgment will be.
Katapunguzwa.
Because,
Alafu, when we've had these kids, you've nanganad, you've raised them, and then you want to leave them babies forever. People, before we go into musical interludes, let us learn how to divorce our children.
Yes, please.
Let go.
Yes, please.
Wachana
wewe ni messenger. You're just a custodian for now until then. You're then ikifika na nishuka. Like when your stop gets here, please alight. Bila vita, bila fujo, bila nini. Unajua? Peana huo mtoto pia because imefika mahali ameshakuwa adult. Pia kuna part ya maisha yake pia anaweza ishi without your interference. That is the word I was meant to use. Interference yako haitajiki hapa. Umekuwa na hizo miaka zote, sana inategemea kutoka 15 mpaka 18. You've had all that time. So kwanza there's something we were watching yesterday. Remember there's this chick.
She went on a date with her parents.
She brought her parents along.
Mother and father, and they liked the Jama more than the chick. Exactly. So, and then the dad made friends with the Jama, and he was regretting why he didn't take the Jama's number because like they became buddies.
I know. You're like, so I'm
like okay. Auntie. And she was in her 30s.
Imagine.
Hakukuwa mtoto wa 16 ati ana date.
That leaves a lot of
little Johnny who is also 16 now. Until now, we have to chaperone. We let them sit at that table.
That's a random AfroFabb sitting there at the table with this Mr. Person, na mom, na dad.
Apana.
Wacha niende hivi nikam.
Sisi tuko na tabia mbaya sana as parents, I think, because we raise our children and then we refuse to let go. Not maybe just refuse, but we don't know how to. Because maybe our parents never let go of us. They're constantly wanting to interfere. I'm not saying that don't be close to your parents. What I'm saying is, when a man or a woman has to go and ask their parents for permission, not advice, Two very different things.
And then keyword on man, not a child.
Kununua shamba.
Woi.
Tulikuwa tunaona kama
nataka kuwed, nataka kumari ude.
Exactly.
Nataka
nimeona uchali. Okay, ni sawa tu. No, you're not asking for permission. And it's on us as well. When we start asking for permission for things that are not involving our parents at all whatsoever, then we allow them to do that.
Interfere.
Exactly.
Because the thing, why we're insisting on divorce your children is allow your children to grow.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
That's it.
Say to unawaacha unamchukia, you go and find your way in the world. Mwache grow. Let your child make mistakes. Let your child take wrong turns, take right turns, make difficult decisions, by themselves, not with you, like with your voice just
constantly.
It's not like you're letting them go completely. You're just letting them be. And then again, it's good for you as a parent because hizo miaka zote nani
live and let live.
I beg.
Quick story. And on this cold Monday. DJ Roy,
see how many layers I have. Leave me.
Where? Oh, addicted.
Tumefundishwa kuspell on a whole mountain morning and a cold morning. Batu banakuwa addicted to each other.
Karibuni sana.
Hey, welcome back, my people.
It's nice to be addicted to someone.
Trust.
It's very nice.
A lot of people don't know that emotion. Lakini once you get it.
Lakini kwenye hiyo addiction, yeah, we have to be very careful because that addiction can be toxic and it leads to very often toxic situations.
Of very tough situations.
You know what I mean?
Unakaa hivi unajiuliza, unajijibu, unajumiza,
sindio?
Unaumiza.
It's like today we're talking mainly about kids and the effect of our choices and stuff on our kids and now hiyo story ya kwanza divorcing our children. Mtu yako akishafika place umemfundisha vitu zile unafaa kumfundisha. I think as a parent we should sit back and watch them.
Umeshafanya theory, wacha afanye practical.
It's like when you teach a child to walk. They walk kidogo, they fall. Sometimes you pick them up because they're struggling to come up.
Exactly.
But most of the time you have to stand back and watch and let them stand.
Exactly.
And let them start walking. You know what I mean?
Don't keep holding their hand.
Exactly. And it's like also like when a child falls. Ukimwokota every single time. They'll think that that's how the world is.
That's how walking works.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that.
That's why go stand on the opposite side. Let's like encourage the child, come. And they're encouraged. They want to walk to you.
Exactly.
Ukishinda nyuma yake unamokota. Ameslip. Ataanguka. Shikilieni mtoto. Kwanza kuna zile nyumba beste. Mtoto hata siokote kijiko. Mtoto atachoka. Mtoto ameanguka. Hebu muangalie. Mimi najua wala watu wenye mtoto ameanguka tu chini like he's just fallen on his bum. Lakini kidogo shortly the way we are rushing to the hospital to go and see because a child has a concussion. Concussion on the bum. Please. Acheni mchezo.
There's a limit. There's a protection and overprotection.
Yeah, there's overprotecting and it always makes things go
doesn't help our children. It literally just makes them dependent on us. And then what happens when we're not here no more? You know, and a lot of times you find that when we stay in toxic situations, we tend to now take that focus onto the children. So instead of protecting yourself and saying that I don't want to be in this situation anymore, you become overprotective with the children. Yes, your partner has never harmed the kids, but it's almost like because they harm you, you know, they do harm the children.
They do,
you know.
It without you knowing it bleeds out.
Exactly.
Like you just find like there's some things you'll say, there's some things you do in front of the kids. And kids don't forget.
No.
Cause and it's always like we always say, kids never hear what you tell them to do. They always see. So like they see you slapping somebody, they will slap the other person.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to be careful. Overprotecting. Okay, protect your child. Don't overdo it. Anything in excess is toxic. Usiharibu hapo pali imefika ni sawa. And then again, this thing, we're staying for the kids. Hamskizani, you can't even look in the same direction.
Exactly.
Like, waiting. Now you're just becoming petty and stupid. Highlight on stupid. Kwa sababu, nyinyi wawili hamuelewani, si ndio? But that child, hana makosa.
Yes.
Unaona, hana makosa. Where bila kujua, you start saying things about your partner to the child or in front of the child.
Yes.
And now the child starts looking at the other parent like, hey, mommy said, daddy said, you're like this, you're like this, you're like this. And kidogo shortly, now when you decide to go your separate ways, the child is already tainted. Kwa mind yake anajua, daddy left because of this, mommy left because of this. No. So this child has to grow up with that mess in their head, which can be avoided. Kama msikizani, kama mnataka kugombana, please, I beg, call somebody.
You have a bedroom.
You have a bedroom. Ikizidi hata shauri yenyu hata ndani pigane kwa shopi hata injalishi. Just keep it away from the kids. They don't need to be part of your mess. They do not need to be part of your mess. Because, fine, mulika chini, you all decided we're going to have a child. And you're going to raise a sane child. Kwa sababu hiyo mess yote nyinyi mko nayo ni yenyu. Musisambaze kwa mtoto mwingine. No.
And having a child because you think that it's going to help your relationship. Our relationship is not working, so let's have a kid and fix it. Our relationship is not working,
please,
so let's trap him with a child.
Because the child is a band-aid, no?
We're not working, so
let's get a child.
Let's bring another.
I love the crazy part is that you're going to share that news with somebody. Tulika tu chini, and then we decided, let's have a child, and then we think our child is going to make our relationship better.
Guys.
No, stop punishing that innocent human being. You're the broken ones. You chose each other.
Show me this hand.
Because why?
Sorry, carry on.
See how we get derailed. See how we get derailed. No, I'm not even getting into this one. So, Uraskia, you chose each other. You knew I was broken, I knew you were broken, and we decided, we love each other, okay, let's have a child, okay. Now let's blame this child, or let's use this child for... Kama ungekuwa na huyo mtoto mapema, don't blame the child.
Me, there's a friend of mine who asked the mom. The mom used to beat him. I said, yes, nini. Oh, sijui nini. Wende mtoto aina gani? Oh, sijui nini. Because she was frustrated because the dad used to beat the mom. So the dad used to beat the mom, and then
since
the mom in turn would beat them. So it was just a violent situation. And one time the kid just turned around. He must have been about 8 or 9, maybe 10.
That's a young boy.
And he said, well, I didn't send an application. What?
Exactly. At 8. Ni mtu amechoka, amefika the end. ETC yake imefika ETC.
Kichapo, msali chapo yu, alichapo akaparara.
No man seemed to.
But he had a point.
Yeah, he was being honest because he's tired, he's fed up. He's like,
you can't keep beating on me.
This one hits you, you hit me.
Exactly. Like I've tripped, I nearly fell. You beat me. I'm like, mate, shouldn't you just be
did I do?
Be more careful.
Exactly.
Next time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
In whatever language you will say, just say it. Asuangalie kule unaenda.
And the thing is, you see that wherever there's violence in the home, the kids might not be violent to other people outside, but they grow up with rage.
Yeah.
You know,
then it's let out in the wrong place.
You know what I mean?
And,
Exactly. And this is where you see sometimes someone ends up in prison because they lashed out when they shouldn't have. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that parents should be perfect. All I'm saying is, let's just be a little bit more careful about how what we
show me
present.
A perfect person. I'll go and jota for you the rainbow. And
you know what I mean? Yeah.
There's no perfect parenting. There is none.
Far from it. You know, like parenting is about blundering.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it, because you're learning from the mistakes. And it doesn't mean that, okay, so we make mistake. Don't give up. Don't give up. And it can be
But if your kid
ask
tells
somebody.
You, if your kid tells you, like I think the best thing as a parent would be to, because your child is the stakeholder in this. I always liken almost everything in life to organizations. Because I'm a business person. It makes sense.
See this one.
However, the way it is this is your shareholder, your child. Senior, this is a person who you're raising. The best person to ask whether you're doing a good job or not is your child. You know, you don't have to sit them down and say, here's a questionnaire.
Wewe na list yako of requirements, please peleka huko nje tafadhali.
Lakini what you can do is just make sure that there's an open channel of communication. So that your kids can come tell you. Mimi nilishaambiwa niende parenting classes now. My child at 7 came home and told me, we were told there are parenting classes. I was like, oh yeah, cool. So
what's this plan?
I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So what else did you learn today? But mommy, these parenting classes. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure other parents will go, but you know, I'm a good mom.
As you pat yourself on the back.
I know. Just as my hand went to reach, he told me, mommy, I think you should go. My hand came back down. But as an African parent, I was tempted to.
Since I'm not going to pat my back, I'm going to smack you. Big head.
How dare you? You know? But I had to put my ego down and very quickly say to him, okay, I understand and I will go. But if it's something that we can sort between me and you, then I'd much rather not go for someone to tell me how to raise a child. Because I'm not raising a child, I'm raising you.
So what is it that
you know what I mean?
You'd like me to straighten, anything that you'd like me to change?
And talking doesn't mean you have to do everything your child tells you that they need. It's just about understanding their needs.
Exactly.
Now, there's a difference between needs and wants. You know what I mean? If your child wants all the time, then of course they have a deficiency of vitamin N. You're not saying no enough. You know.
Na hapa hakuna ati thin line between wants and needs.
If your child tells you that I think you don't listen to me. So he said to me, I think you don't listen to me. And I said, okay, so you think I don't listen to you? Why do you think I don't listen to you? He said to me, because you're always busy doing something. You know? And when I try to talk to you, you don't listen. And I said, okay, so how can we solve it? You don't interrupt me when I'm doing something. Yes? Wait for me to finish. And if you don't know how long it'll take me, ask me. You know?
How long?
So from then on, we would say, okay, mommy, I need to talk to you. Is it something quick? I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll listen. But it's not always possible to stop what I'm doing. So then I'll ask. You know, like, do you need to talk to me for
how long?
Like, you know. So I'd say,
is it an instant question?
What I'm doing, I'll be another 10, 20 minutes. Let's set a timer.
A timer,
yeah. And when that time is finished, we can talk. Or we can go do whatever it is. Mommy, can we go to the park to play? You know? Of course we can go to the park to play, but I'm still doing laundry, which I can't leave. It's maybe another hour before that's done. We set the timer. When an hour is done, we'll put it outside together. And then we'll go to the park.
Then we'll go to the park, yes.
Do you see what I mean? So I found that made our communication a lot better.
But you're actually communicating. You're not talking at the child and
that's
you're not talking to.
It took me putting my ego down as a mother and saying, what is it in this relationship as my child that's not working for you?
And you see, it also helps you as a parent because now you learn to listen to your child. Because there's little people.
You don't always have to listen
they have
to them.
needs. They have needs, and sometimes it's legit, sometimes it's rubbish. There's like acha ujinga enda uko chini. So you're like, fine, kuna saa ya kusikiza, and then again, you'll find that now you even pay more attention to this child because you'll be like,
and then a couple of years later, this African boy, okay, half African, half German, anyway, but he identifies as black, so his words, not mine. This child
is as white as they
comes to me. He comes home very happy, skipping, very happily, and he tells me a story about one of his mates, and then tells me, Mommy, do you know, me and you, we're not like other moms and their kids. So I'm like, oh shit, here we go again.
What is this?
And then,
what?
And then he goes, you know, me and you, we're more like best friends.
Hapo ndo kule tumefika.
I am an African mother. There are things that you should never say to an African mother.
At the best nga. Best where?
Me.
Best who?
Your best friend.
Olisikia.
You're supposed to fear me. I should be walking into this house and
you start checking yourself.
Have I washed myself? Have I done my laundry? Have I made my bed? Those are the things
is
that
the
are
world
supposed
still
to
way
be going through your head. Not me and my mommy are like best friends.
Besties.
However, when he said that, it made me feel later on kind of good because it made me feel like I've created a situation in our house where he feels safe to talk to me. Like whatever happens to him, he comes and talks to me. Whether it's about girls,
he actually
it's
trusts
friends
you.
on the playground, whether it doesn't matter if he got into a scuffle at school. Of course, he knows I'll tell him.
The first person.
Exactly. He knows I'll tell him that listen, you need to maybe think carefully about how you react to this situation. However, if it's a situation where hata mimi ningetupa ngumi namwambia next time hata usingoje, next time akisema tu hivi rusha joint ngike kwanza kuja kufundisha.
Mnasikia vile ana punch kwa mkono. This one.
No.
I shall just sit on this
like
side.
Like the thing is, it's good to teach our children that.
I can't even. Me and my hands.
It's like this.
I will sit on my hands.
We teach our children to avoid confrontations. But there are times
what
in
if
life
it comes
where
to them and
they
they
cannot
can't
avoid confrontation?
Bas.
Do you understand? And in those moments, they have to know how to protect themselves. Rusha ngumi kwanza chapa hapa. Joy kifanya hivi. Msichana
I don't mind to protect himself, but sina ngumi.
You have to dislodge the jaw.
Make sure imeenda your side.
Anyway, as always, the views on this show are not those of Galactic Production.
Tafadhali.
My views on kulipisha chulokuo
revenge
in Dholuo
unaekewa wanted.
Those of Atieno.
Tafadhali.
Anyway, we were talking about people staying for the kids and the effect that it has on the children, you know. Of course, there are situations where somebody feels like they can't leave because my kids will suffer. But how much are your kids
They're suffering more when you people are there, because what kind of picture are you painting in front of them?
You know?
Mnaumiza.
Na wale wababa wenye usema, na nasema wababa sana because we still live in a society where men earn more than women. Men are in a better position as a whole to go to work, and women still as a whole stay within the household. Hata kama kuna biashara yake pale ama hata kama kuna job yake, bado yeye ndio the main nini wa kutengeneza hiyo nyumba. You know what I mean?
Breadwinner.
Si breadwinner ni ule ndiye anaitwa ule wa kwenda kazini. Sasa
head of
bread maker.
Mleta unga.
You know what I mean? Ule ni mleta unga. Huyo ni mpika chapati. So because of that, I think a lot of women, especially in toxic situations, always feel like they cannot move away from it. And then some mamas, they tell their jamas, if you leave me, you'll never see the kids again. Guys, stop falling for that bullshit.
It's hard. It's hard. She will get out 2 minutes later.
It's hard. She might be able to take care of those kids. She might be able to pay for everything, but she cannot stop you as their father
from being the father to those children.
Seeing those children. It doesn't matter what someone threatens you with, as long as you have not been violent to your children, as long as there has been no history of abuse, there is no way someone can come here today and tell a man that you cannot see your children because we're not together anymore.
Exactly. Because again, you're ignoring the children's needs, because what if they ask you, Mom, we need to see
There's no what if.
No.
There's no what if. The children should never be put in a situation where they're asking, I need to go see my dad, I need to go see my mom. You, as adults, skizaneni, decide. Do you want the kids once a week, every weekend, every other weekend? We are adults. Ama jioni nikitoka job nitakuwa napitia na watoi, and let him. Just because you're not living together anymore. Guys, come on.
If it's okay. If you don't love this person like you once did,
it
is okay.
You know.
Siku moja mlikuwa mnapendana, mkatengeneza mtoto. Unaona, you brought forth another human being. And fine, you don't have to live together because fine, expiry date yenyu ilishafika.
Yes.
Is okay. Lakini shida si nyinyi. There's another person here.
That's it.
Unaona? And
who needs both of you?
Yes, who needs both of you? And they're not going to be scarred because you two adults can't sit down and think.
Every human being is going to be scarred.
So,
but let's avoid unnecessary scarring.
Exactly.
Because we are all born into whatever we're born into. Yeah? And we all have different experiences. And we all have a different way of dealing with what happens to us. We can experience exactly the same thing, but the way you process it will be very different from the way I process it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
hii maneno ya ati
we're staying for the kids. No.
And hata hiyo mkishawacha kustay for the kids, mnaanza kusema wewe utaona watu hii mimi sitalipa school fees.
For what?
Who you punishing?
Watu hisi wangu peke yangu. But you want them for a week.
Yeah. And when somebody
decides
that they're walking away from their children, let them. Give them updates on how the child is doing. Send them pictures, whether they want it or not. Hata kama akikublock, tuma kwa email.
Bas. Ataiona.
Send pictures, send school reports, whether they're paying school fees or not. That's neither here nor there, because one day they will reconnect with this child.
Exactly. They will sit down, they'll have stories.
Yeah, Juzi, I was kwa mtandao kuna dem alikuwa natafuta her dad who used to be Concordia hapa Umo. And she was like, guys, if you know this guy is supposed to be my dad, I'm looking for him. So if you are around in the 80s, 90s, hapo hivyo kat mwanzo, if you know this guy, if you know somebody who knows him, na squeeze just social media, I'm sure she'll find her dad. And I hope he's still alive. Because mama yake alimchukua kaenda naye akamwambia XYZ about the dad. Why you
kwanza kuna wale wabaya wanasema baba yako alikufa.
Exactly. Why are you punishing your child? Because their father was, in your eyes, useless. It's not the child's fault. Kwanza, huo mtoto hana anything to do with it because you chose to lay with that man.
With that useless person. Salio ulikuwa unalala naye kwa useless.
Now huyo mwenye anasema mama yako ni useless. You chose to stay with that person, lay with them and make a child. Do you get me? You chose that person. You chose each other. The child chose neither of you.
Never sent an application form or anything. So, acheni ujinga. I still insist. Acheni ujinga. Stop your DJ, rubbish.
Naona ni kama tumeanza makasiriko na sisi makasiriko.
Friday narudi na story by the way. Acheni ujinga. Kile mnaambia watoto ati baba yako.
Ama mama yako. Kwani ni mama peke yake ndio usema?
Me mostly naijua na mama.
I'm standing for the sisterhood.
Stop telling that to your kids.
Sawa. Guys, let's listen to some music.
I am not
and when we come back, we'll be wrapping up. And thank you all so much for joining us again today and for your continued support. Karibuni tena.
I'm a slave in love.
I'm a slave in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ties
wewe ni mfungwa wa mapenzi.
Yani mfungwa wa mapenzi.
Funga me here, funga me there.
Tamara Anjiko.
Hello.
Karibuni sana everyone.
Tamara amesema nini?
Tamara amesema habari on this cold morning, you lot are glowing.
Hello. Baridi don't live here now. Sasa takate sawa.
Lakini amevalia ska 10. So
hakuna baridi hapa. You know your weekend was good when you wake up.
Maze, you guys, mimi napenda ngoma za wanaitwaje?
Our 256
kuna venye wao
and sisters.
KUG.
Maze.
I think it's Baganda.
The Luganda.
Uganda.
They make this the pronunciation of their words. They make it sound very nice, and you don't even understand what they're trying to sing.
I think everyone can see what my eyes are.
Eyes do not kill nani. Tuko tu hapa.
Kama zingekuwa zinaua looks good. It looks good.
Eyes. Mimi nilikuwa nishakufa zamani, hata mngekuwa mnanijua. Watu wengine hapa.
Guys, karibuni sana.
Yani.
Thank you for joining us today. Leo kwanza nimekimbia kwa mvua. It was very nice and liberating. Nimesikia poa. I went for a run in the rain after our exercise morning. Here with Elixir.
Hey.
Wellness. Hapa kwenye dono.
Leo tuliko kwenye boxing clubs. What you talking about? What you talking?
Nimetesa watu.
Nikaa alikuwa ametumwa. Kuna memo alisoma mahali alafu after ameisoma akaipasua akaitupa ndo sisi tusione ati tukuje tukiwa ready. It's okay, Mungu anakuona. God is seeing you.
Guys, karibuni sana. I hope that what we've been talking about today
is making sense. Na inasaidia mahali.
You guys.
And it's shedding some truth somewhere.
Tumeanza na jogging na uji.
Mazi.
Uji ya guata.
Mazi.
Yani
uji tamu sawa. Uji imewekwa dimu.
Sindio?
Anyway, na shukari.
As we finish on today's show, we've been talking about, like having children as a status symbol, same for the children, and, basically not knowing when to let go of our children once they're grown, or even not once they're grown, but as they hit their milestones. I know it's painful always, that I cry every time my son hits a milestone. Like I literally am that mom who sat outside the school and cried for a whole hour after I dropped him off and almost waited there all day just to pick him up again. But I'm also that mom who always says, I'm hard.
Shock, 2 minutes later, she's there drenched in tears.
I was like, I called my dad. I was like, Daddy, imagine. He's like, Mommy, what's wrong?
What's the problem?
I'm like, I don't know, Shule. I've just dropped Kevin off. He's like, and did something happen to him? No. I'm like, no, but it's sad.
Who the first body when you by the way? This one is your first body. This one.
And the next time, when he went to big school, the first day he walked off alone with his friend. So I dropped him halfway. He met his friend, and literally, I'm not even joking. It's a 10-minute walk, if that. Them walking very slowly. I sat in my car.
I am yet to experience those ones.
Yes.
Sijui kama zitakuja.
It's hard letting them hit these milestones. It's
yes,
hard.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then the next time he was going to secondary school, this time he was taking himself all the way by bus for 45 minutes. Woi. My depression hit 100.
Yani mtu yani need. Yani anaenda shule bila mimi. Mimi nimekuwa nikikupeleka shule hizi miaka sasa hivi unaniambia unataka kwenda shule peke yako. Unasikia wapi?
Exactly. You know? And then the next time he's like, "Oh, I'm going out with my mate. Oh, heart attack."
Bas, kwisha. Kill me now. Nitengenezeni casket please.
Guys, it's hard.
Trust, I know.
It's hard to let go.
Sijafika uko mbali, but hapa paliniko.
Exactly.
Sometimes it hits me, I'm like,
I know. Like the other day he came home, he's like, Mommy.
Hey, my beard.
He's counting his beard.
See.
Sorry, Kiran.
Sorry.
He's like, they've grown. I think I have 5 more. And then he goes, it's only 2 years. I said 2 years until what? He said, until I'm 18. I'm like, what's on your David account? I went to my bedroom and I cried a bit.
They're like, shit, umseme dako karibu kwa the goal. Like literally, he's almost at the door.
But the thing is, it's good to show our children that we're sad about them leaving home or potentially leaving home or having these milestones, because every time they hit these milestones, we're divorcing ourselves, and we have to divorce ourselves. Because otherwise, if you wait until they're leaving home, you'll never want them to leave home. You'll always give them an excuse to stay home. Like, especially for mothers of boys, this is why we find ourselves interfering with their love lives. You know what I mean?
Ai baba,
msichana simuoni ni kama let your child is
anakupekeanga vizuri.
Unless of course the person in question is detrimental to your child's well-being.
There you're allowed to step in, not make decisions, step in and say something.
I would step in the same as I would step in if one of my brothers was being harmed by his woman.
Exactly.
Or if my sister was being harmed, one of my sisters was being harmed by her man.
Because that's the other thing, like people still don't accept that men are actually getting abused out
here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's happening.
Guys,
like the men can't come out and say it out loud because
some guys are stepping up now, and I'm so glad some guys are coming out and saying there is violence. There's violence against men.
Yeah.
You know, why are we still in Africa and just generally in the world dying for these rings?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, we're married. Yes, we've been together 10 years.
Yeah.
But we're beating the bluebells out of each other
every other day.
Kesho, I hit a camera. The next day, I fell down the stairs. Guys, and it always escalates.
And don't forget, when this is happening, don't forget again, the kids are there watching you fall down the stairs, hit the cupboard with your bruises and grazes.
Yeah. But it's also on the wider society to support the people who are being abused.
That's true.
Especially those who are being abused with children. Because a lot of times people feel like they have to stay for the kids. And when somebody, your friend, your child, comes to you and says, Mama, I am being abused. You know, that's not the point to remind them the other person paid 20 cows for them or 100 cows and brought a Pajero and brought whatever it is that you will now maybe feel compelled to return because your daughter has to come home after 6 months of marriage. You know what I mean? That is the point where you take this person into the fold, and if this thing can be sorted out so that the couple stays together in a healthy way, then let it be sorted. It's not always divorce courts. That's not always the first protocol. But you know, in the olden days, when people got married, the two families came together. Nowadays, a guy comes with his family, they pay bride price, these ones go their way, the other ones go their way. You know what I mean? So there's never your mom can come to my mom and say, hey, you guys, this child of yours is not going well. You know, is not doing the right thing. Exactly. Can we bring them together, and especially where the children involved, can we bring them together and see as a family how we can sort this out? Yeah. You know what I mean? So you find a situation where the other day I saw from Tandao, this girl went back home. She was being abused. And her mom told her, go back to your husband.
Because
she took her 2 kids, 7 and 10, I think, and drowned all of them in the local river.
Okay, that one hit different. I wasn't ready. I was not ready.
Why are we dying for these rings? Why have these rings become a shackle? You know what I mean?
Who are you? Who are you like trying to impress? Who are you? It is a good thing. But are you doing it for you, or are you doing it for your relatives, or are you doing it for society? Because it's at the end of the day, it's only you and your spouse who are going to be there. You're starting your own unit.
Yes.
Unaona?
Yes.
The two of you. Whether you've gone to the AG, whether you've done a grand wedding or whatever, at the end of the day, your honeymoon suite. It's just the two of you.
Exactly.
You start your unit. So if anything, if now that you're a family, now that you're connected, muna discuss vitu between the two of you.
100%.
Wengine wakisikia sawa, wasiposikia shauri yao.
If you have a trusted relative, if you have a trusted friend, call them in, or even nowadays there's so many independent mediators out there. You know, there's couples counseling. There's a lot.
There's a lot out here.
You know, nobody's saying
your friend,
the first
ask somebody
port of call is to divorce, because nowadays I think we give up too easily on relationships, on marriages, on all of that. But usivumilie pale mtu anaenda kukuua.
Exactly.
Jua kisha kuua umwache hao watoto
atafanya nini nao,
man or woman. It doesn't matter which. Whoever is being abusive. You know. Hapo hivyo ukishakuwa depressed uanze kuneglect watoi wako hapo. You know what I mean? Who is suffering? You know what I mean?
Ask yourself these questions. Because
you're staying for the kids, but you're all depressed in this house.
You're all depressed in that house. And now you're passing it over to the next generation as well. So you can imagine they're going to be having weird. Now you can imagine if you have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. This boy is going to go into his relationship like that. The girl is going to go into her relationship like that. That's how they're going to live. Before you know it, they have children. This cycle continues.
Communication.
Break it before it becomes something else. Sasa umempiga. Sasa umenipiga. Sasa alafu. Sasa alafu.
Sisemi sijaivunjana na mtu lakini squeeze niko better.
Sasa alafu, like you hit me and then what?
Exactly.
Did it solve the issue? Like did I stop being loud? Did I stop? Yo, stop it. Acheni ujinga. Friday narudi.
Unarudi na nini on Friday AfroFabb?
Back. Kwanza niko na feeling hizi topics nazirudia. Wale watu wenye wana poison watoto wakisema ati kama mama yako, kama baba yako. Niko kama baba yangu, niko kama mama yangu. So unataka. So now ambia Friday.
Yeah.
I shall not kasirika on this nice morning.
You know, like we're grateful for you guys joining us always, for those who've shared, for those who always supporting us.
Let me salimia these my fans over here.
Salimia watu.
Gloria unazidi kuiva.
Endelea Gloria.
I know, right? Kuiva uko inside. Faithful Nuko is inside Wangoi Jericho.
Karibuni.
Hi mama. And MC Miggy a champion.
Karibu.
Miggy. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you, brother. Yeah, so guys, communication is key. Yani communicating solves a lot of things. You punguza shida by
and I think the biggest thing is if we talk to our children, then we very often our children are a barometer. Physics. How chemistry? Anyway, I have ventured. Nimesikia mwili yangu ikifanya hivi. The Kelvin barometer. Our children are a barometer and of our relationships, and just taking time, even 10 minutes to 20 minutes a day. And it doesn't have to be like you sit them down to talk about any topic. It's just about sitting down and spending that time, and then them realizing that they can just talk to you.
They don't always speak rubbish, by the way.
Not all your time, but.
There's like yo, because I love concentration span yao ni short. Like after 10 minutes atakuwa ameboeka, I'd be like,
and anaenda kufanya kitu kingine.
Can I go outside and play?
Yeah. Depending on how old they are.
But exactly. Listen to them. They don't always speak rubbish.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been real. It's that show.
Oh, it's that show. AfroFabb.
And me, Atieno. And DJ Roy. Uko kwenye background. He's the shy guy. Alafu.
Like the King sang. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Shy guy. Anyway, guys, we digress.
Yes.
As we finish the show.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Karibuni tena. Let us keep loving. Let us keep communicating. Yeah. Let us think about our like mental health, our wellness, and just thinking about how we are raising ourselves, because we are still children growing up. Sisi pia tuna blunder too, and how we are raising the next generation, and let's be the change we want to see in this world.
True.
You know what I mean? And stop dying for those rings. Hapa nje unajua
nini? It's not worth
watu
it.
Ni wengi na bado kukua peke yako pia si shida. Si noma, by the way. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it's your decision, your happiness.
Than with somebody and dead. Because dead is not always just 6 feet under. Dead is sometimes, you look at people sometimes and they're dead.
I know, and they're dead in their eyes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's sad. That's exactly the saddest life to live.
You know what I mean? So guys, thank you very much. We're here every Monday,
Wednesday,
and Friday.
Friday mnasikia nikitaja at 9 in the
a.m. East African time.
And
AKA
Paris.
What?
It. Yeah. Alafu nawasihi. Spend time with your child today. Hiyo 10 minutes yake mpatie hiyo 10 minutes by the way.
Kama unaweza, kama uwezi pia.
Kama unaweza. Ni 10 minutes tu by the way. Nikaa tu vile unaweza enda sijui utakuwa umefungua video funny kwa YouTube. I'm just saying, have a great day.
Have a good day, guys. Have a good week, and see you on Wednesday for business. We have Shara Wednesday and wellness. And then again on Friday, Makasiriko Venting Day.